is committed to empowering people through business development and financial independence. She has a ton of background that allows her to do this with so much authority. She serves currently as the head of Social Awesome, AUSUM, a consulting firm on impact sustainability, financial resiliency for mission-based social entrepreneurs and enterprises. Did I get that good?
You got that real good. So good.
Right.
I wouldn't have done any better.
I don't know about that. Let's see where you're at. So, listen. In a bit of an email exchange, you actually said you wish you had a guru to kill because you need to become your own guru with this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So your wish is our demise. All right. So whatever happened this past couple of weeks, it happened. And so let's figure out, what was it like? So what was it that you had committed to?
I had committed to filming a YouTube video that would be online and live through Zoom. And I went ahead and I penned a solid script, and I found someone that was going to talk to me as I did it. And then I just said, I got a whole rig, like you don't understand. I got a microphone with this whole thing attached to it. Like I committed fully.
Yes.
Well, this is serious.
I went serious on this. And then when it came to actually doing it, I chickened out. I fully chickened out. Okay. I froze. I kept saying, I'll do it tomorrow morning. I'll do it tomorrow morning. And last night I was like, I'll do it tomorrow morning. It didn't happen. I'm scared, guys. I'm scared.
Gotcha.
If it makes you feel better, we've all been there.
Okay.
And it still happens.
Yeah. Okay, I hear you.
The other thing that I did, which scared me even more, is that I went ahead and watched a bunch of YouTube videos of comparable content.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't possibly, like, I can't produce. They're so beautifully produced.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let me, so you're scared. We can dig into this a little, like you're here. Obviously, we're going to dig into this. First of all, thank you so much for showing up. Yes, everybody who's watching this, this is what I think of as a support structure, right? So Fatima, if we gave you a bunch of great ideas and you were to go off and do them, you might do them or you might not, or it might get just delayed, but I'm almost certain that you felt a mounting accountability to do this as this show got closer. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay. And now that you haven't done it, that's actually just as perfect, honestly, in my opinion, because now you get to say what was showing up, because what you're learning is just as important with what you're winning with. Okay. That's one of the teachings I've gotten, one of the principles. So winning and learning, right? So that's all that's happening here. You haven't made a mistake. You haven't failed. None of that kind of stuff. You just learned something. So I guess the question I'm curious about is, you mentioned scared. Let's dig into that a little bit. Scared of?
Scared of, like, it was the most ridiculous thing. And I was like, oh my God, what if that one high school person sees this?
Okay.
And then also there was the fact that they're like, is this where I want my company to go? Is this something that I'm willing to commit to? Is this the fact that I'm going to be the face of this content that I'm creating? Is this something that I want to do? Because the moment you check in and you do this, you got to commit. And I'm like, but am I the right person? Okay, yes, I'm the right person, but do I want to do this? Do I want to be the face of this message?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And by being the face, what's the alternative?
Like, my dream was always to be the shadowy consigliere behind the scenes, the one that just
Okay.
like comes and gives you the strategy and you go and you ace it. And I just walk away happy and see the fruits of my labor happening. What I'm doing by putting content out there is pretty much, as you say, being my own guru.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'm ready to be the adult.
Okay, so first of all, you
Thrown
don't.
around the A word.
Yeah, we're all adulting at one level or another. So first of all, let me just make it very clear: you don't have to do the video, and you don't have to be the face of it. It's just the question of then what are the alternatives.
Mhm.
So, do you have the ability to hire somebody to be this, and do you trust somebody else to be the voice and the face?
I don't know. I think I would trust someone else. I don't know someone else right now that I would. I've toyed with the idea of getting my clients to do this, like a client of
Mm-hmm.
mine, um, and have them, because they're social entrepreneurs, they're mission driven, and kind of give them the content and have an exchange.
Yeah.
But they're also not, like, they're busy doing work. They don't necessarily want to do this.
Okay.
So, because that was my initial idea, is like, someone else does this, I just get behind and help them produce it.
All right. So, next question I have for you is: when you decided to do this, how come? What was the intention?
It was many things, but one of them was the fact that I wasn't seeing um, faces that look like mine talking about this content online.
Right. Okay.
So there was
You
that.
mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was that, and it was really one of those, okay, actually it has to be me. Or someone like me, who looks
Mm.
like me, who, like, my package is, everybody's a snowflake, but my package is my package, and it matters, and it
Yeah.
should be out there. Which then actually, if anything, added even more weight to it, because then it made me feel like, oh my, then it has to get done right.
Okay. All right. So, I'm going to ask you the most important question, Fatima. Do you want to work through this?
Yeah.
There is many opportunities for growth. You said fear, the fear of judgment, the fear of high school, there's something to do with commitment there, all of that kind of stuff. And some of that stuff will serve you and say, hey, watch out, don't go there. And some of it maybe isn't serving you. So the question is this serving you? Is this something that you want to work through? Because if you do, then we're going to work through it.
Yeah, it's something that I need to work through.
Need to. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you to do one thing right now. I'm going to ask you to say, this is something I choose to work through, and see how that feels when you say that.
This is something that I choose to work through.
All right. Okay.
Okay, I can do better. This is something that I choose to work through.
Yeah. Because when you say need to and have to, guess what you're doing? You're being the parent that says you need to do this and you have to do this. And there's part of you that's saying, I don't want to do this, and is pushing back. When you say I choose to, what's happening is your body starts to get aligned with what you're choosing to. Even if you're like, part of you is like, still don't feel it, but you're choosing to. So you're not having more of you starting to try to push you. Got it?
Got it.
Okay, one more time.
I
Just for
choose
fun?
to work through this.
Okay, wonderful. All right, then I want to address a couple things. Okay, you talked about high school.
Mhm.
All right. So that's probably just a proxy for people are going to judge me, right?
Yeah.
Is that? Okay, gotcha. And that's one of the things for all of us to work through when you're doing this stuff. Like, literally, we've got a few people watching us now, more people watching us in the future, and they might think we're really messing this up. They might think this is the most boring show in the world. What are you doing? Getting into all that kind of stuff. You're not doing it right. And I have a different opinion for you. All of that type of thing.
It's embarrassing.
There's a million things. Okay. And we all have our own particular flavor for it. So, okay. So that's one thing. I want to talk with you a little bit about commitment. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is just a point of view or a thing to think about in terms of commitment. So you mentioned, I think what you said was, if I do this, I'm going to need to commit to this, and therefore, a month, 2 months, 6 months, and maybe I actually won't want to do it.
Mhm.
So, and this doesn't work for everybody. It actually doesn't work for my wife, but for me, when I commit to something, I 100% commit to it. And then as soon as I don't want to do it anymore, because I've learned, I'm out.
Mm.
So for me, that allows me to commit in the moment and be fully there, and then stops me from worrying about, but is this the right choice? A month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, that type of thing.
Mhm.
Now, there could be commitments where it's like, no, I'm committed to a year. It's a business partner, relationship, whatever it is. So it's like, that's the way it's going to be. But things change, things show up, right? And you get new information, and then you have to make a decision. The commitment might be a strong forward motion to stay the course, but you still need to make a decision. So my belief is using that commitment as I'm worried that this is the wrong choice is just sort of maybe your relationship to commitment. Because you know that if you say, yes, I'm going to do this, you're going to disappoint yourself or disappoint other people if then you choose not to. So then we become very cautious about our decisions. Okay, so that's just something for you to think about. I'm not saying you should go one way or the other, because people have many different relationships to commitment. For me, I'm like all in. I'm jumping in the pool. I'm learning how to swim. Oh, I don't like being wet. I'm all out.
Oh, my usual way of doing is I'm all in. I've looked at all the things. I'm all in. And when I'm all in, I'm all in. Even if
Right.
I'm burning myself, killing myself, burning out, I'm all in because
Mm,
I've committed.
right.
And that's the reason why I usually have to take a good I'd love to have some of whatever you're having of like I'm in until it's time to be out and then I'm
Mm.
out. I'd love to have some of that because I think it would you're very lucky.
Yes, I am actually. So there's a couple of things you could possibly do with that. One is put the parameters to what all in means for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I'm all in, and I'm doing, like, you bought the equipment and all this stuff, and you're here again on this show. So for me, that's showing commitment. The fact that it didn't necessarily work out the past couple of weeks is fine. You're here showing a commitment to this process and working through something for yourself, which might be, I've learned that I actually don't want to do this. I'm out. So, what I would suggest is maybe look at what are the parameters through which this actually still works for me.
Mm-hmm.
So you said that in the past, at least, when you're all in, it doesn't matter if it's killing you, like it doesn't matter how bad it is. You could be getting sick. You're just doing it. And so your parameter might be, I'm all in, but if I can't figure out a way to make this work 10 hours a week, then I'm out. Or I'm going to do 10 hours. Like when I talk about commitments for people, people say, I'm going to do a video and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I'm saying, well, learn that this didn't work for you. So then what is it that you can't, and then you learn what you can commit to in this realm. So it may be, I'm going to commit to this next week, 5 hours working on my video.
Okay.
And if you aren't able to get to actually filming the video within those 5 hours, but you committed to those 5 hours, then you know that's your commitment level, and maybe you increase it or decrease it the following week, that type of thing, depending on what showed up. Because maybe you only did 2 hours because it was still too scary or something, right? So that's what I mean by commitment. And sometimes the commitment is a commitment to a support structure. So I've been in many masterminds and I've run many masterminds. And sometimes my commitment is just to show up weekly for an hour. And I'll commit to other things, sometimes I may do them and sometimes I may not, but the commitment is to show up weekly to the mastermind and talk about what happened that I did not, because that's my support structure to then start growing. And you're wanting to work on some of this stuff and find out what's going on with you and how come this isn't necessarily 100% serving you with the way you see, because you see a real need and you want to be fulfilling that need in this world. I love your mission and your vision with this. So just some thoughts around how you might be able to frame commitment in a way that does not necessarily mean that you have to think through everything, but you can maybe say, I can commit to 10 hours next week working on this, or whatever it happens to be. Now, since you've decided that you are going to do a live video, is that what you've decided?
I was going to record it, not do
record
it live,
it.
but yes.
Oh, okay, sure, record it.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out. So what support structure or what would allow you to actually do it? You said you had a person lined up.
I do.
Okay.
I think I need. Sorry. Yes.
Just a little clarification: is that somebody to join you on the video, as in like a guest, or more like what's the word I'm looking for? Like motivational support.
She was going to help film,
Moral support.
and she was going to help film and then ask me questions that I would then answer to.
Okay.
Perfect.
We hadn't decided whether or not she would be on camera, but we were going to be able to edit it in a way that she could be or could not be, depending on what we want.
Okay,
Wonderful.
So video production and moral support.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And you booked a time, but then you had to cancel?
Yes.
Gotcha. How long was it going to be?
We were going to do 2 sessions, 1 hour each.
Okay, so a fairly lengthy one to give you a big piece of content.
Yeah, for a video that maybe 1 or 2 videos, or 1 long one or 2 shorter ones.
Gotcha.
Depending on how the edit went.
Love it. I love it. All right. So how do you want to approach this? You want to book a time right now?
Book a time with my friend?
Yeah.
Sure, actually.
Do you have time this afternoon?
I don't know if she does.
Do you want to do that now?
I'm going to ask her.
Awesome.
And also, as you were talking, I was like, okay, I'm going to put down how much time I'm going to work on this.
Yeah.
Book it in my calendar. And then also I'm part of a couple masterminds. And I think I'm going to bring it up to them and ask them to keep me accountable for it.
Love it.
I think that will, and they're very encouraging, sickly, awesome people. Mm-hmm. So I think they're the people to talk to. And I'm like, I have these structures. Why didn't I use them for this? So, okay.
That's okay. There's probably a little, that's the whole wonderful thing about these recurring structures, is because sometimes our mind doesn't even want to think about it. Yeah. And then therefore you're not really thinking about it. And then when it doesn't happen, now new ideas come up, because now you have a space now to actually think about this. So this is like literally, this is the essence of Kill the Guru. Is that you didn't do it because it didn't work for you, but you still want, in this particular case, you want to go for it. If you actually said, doesn't work for me, let's figure out something else, that would be totally cool, because you're becoming your own guru. You're making your decisions rather than, I should be doing marketing, I should be doing this. This is the best thing in the world. So you're requesting here. I'm going to move this a little bit this way. You're requesting to see if she's available?
Yes.
All right, chat or email? I'm curious.
I am chatting on WhatsApp.
Oh, that's so good. Real
Yeah.
time. We're figuring out if this is going to go down this afternoon. This is the best thing in the world.
And I also have a backup person to do this with. So I'm going to also text her the same thing.
Yeah.
And another backup person.
Gotcha. You got 3 people.
I got 3 people. I'm very lucky. I have badass women in my life. who are just awesome.
So this does work for you this afternoon. You could.
I don't know.
You could do
I
it,
could
though.
do it. I could do it. You know what? Even if none of them can do this, I'm committing to making a draft.
Yes. Fantastic.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
spend
love it.
2 hours today making a draft, and the commitment is today by, well, we're gonna get off of this in a bit. By 3 p.m.,
Yep.
you'll have a draft in your email.
Wonderful. I love it, Fatima. That is so good. Okay, this is actually almost even better. Can you do something like this, maybe? Like, because it's interview questions, right?
Yes.
You can always edit this, right? Because you were planning on editing it anyways. But you have a question. Hey, Fatima, what do you think about compassion in the workplace? I'm glad you asked that, Fatima. You could play a little bit. Like, have fun with yourself.
Okay. I can do that.
Okay. Wonderful.
Okay, I can do that. That's a measurable that I can do. So I will commit for today by 3 p.m. to have a playful, whatever looks like, but kind of encapsulating the script that I have, which is the two. One is almost like introducing the whole concept, and the other one is definitely a question and answer.
Yeah.
And I'm going to reach out to the 2 accountability groups and ask them to keep me accountable for these videos.
Perfect. So you've got 2 things that you're going to commit to. Can you make next Friday, even if it's just a short update with us?
I will definitely come next Friday with him. Actually, you know what I want? Because I know that I'm hanging out with you guys on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's true.
I wanted to be that before Tuesday.
All right, so you can give us an update on Tuesday. Yes, you're coming back as a guest expert on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm
You're
excited
like
about that.
Online doing video all the time.
With you guys only.
Hey, whatever works, right?
And it feels like I'm on a Zoom call, which is a place I'm very comfortable. So like this is nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally good.
Can I share a story with you, Fatima?
Yes, of course, please.
So something that I struggle with, and maybe you can relate to this, is a certain feeling of perfectionism. And say 2 weeks ago, I was working on my own video project, and the same thing came up. I was like, all right, I have to record this video, and I kept putting it off and not doing it. I'll do it tomorrow. And it just all the pieces, it was in my head. It was just felt like this big project, and I kept just not wanting to do it. What helped me was to allow myself to record a really bad version. So I just turned on the camera and I said, hi, I'm like super low energy, just whatever. Like, I'm Arthur, and today I want to talk, and just kind of I just went through it. And then, okay, I did that. And then I watched it back and I kind of looked at it. It's like, okay, I could add a little bit more energy there. And then I would do it again and do add a little bit more energy, change a few words around. You're like, okay, I did that. And then do it again and make a little bit better and a little bit better. And that just helped me. For me, the hardest part was doing the first version, the first run. Once that was done, it's like, okay, I can do this better. That was terrible. I could do so much better. And it let me get better from there. But the first step was just allowing myself to do it bad the first time.
So Fatima, is this afternoon is going to be a draft, right? Like your first draft?
It's going to be a draft. I'm going to get to it as soon as I stop talking to you guys. So that I can free up my Zoom.
So,
and then, yeah.
You're gone. Okay. So Arthur, the concept you're talking about is actually often done in writing classes, and they actually call it the shitty first draft. Like, literally, Fatima, this afternoon needs to be your shitty first draft. It's going to be don't even worry. In other words, you're taking the pressure off. You're just going to do it. Never mind about whether or not it's.
So I would like to extend the deadline to 5 because my friend is available at between 4 to 5 p.m.
Perfect. Even better. So, shitty first draft. The other thing that I would have you think about is what I call focusing on the wins only when you're doing this sort of thing. So I'm going to share a story with you. I have had in my head for my entire life that I'm tone deaf. When I was a kid in grade 6, I loved to sing and all that kind of stuff. And I overheard somebody, an adult, say, he's tone deaf. He can't sing. So my entire life, I did not sing. I might sing happy birthday to you, but I wouldn't sing, right? And a couple years ago, Carolyn and I were up at the cottage and I'm playing the guitar and we learned that song. What's the name of the song? One Love or something like that. I can't remember exactly. I can't believe I'm blanking it. And I decided for our anniversary, I was going to sing it and record it and put it on Facebook, right? This scares the hell out of me. So what I started playing it and I would record it and I would listen back to it. And I was listening to all the stuff that I didn't get right. And then I switched it and I would play it and I would listen to everything that I got well. Sorry, I was thinking got wrong. And now I switched it to everything that I did well. So every iteration is like, oh, you're a really great energy there or on key there, or that you remembered the words there or whatever it was. And at least for me, in that particular scenario, that allowed me to just focus on the things I was doing well. Because when you're doing video, maybe not so much this kind of video, but this is for anybody who's really nervous about doing video. If you're going to do multiple iterations, we tend to focus on and think that we're not doing a good job because you're focusing on all the stuff you want to improve. Versus in this sort of thing, it's more about getting to the flow and being natural. Like right now, Fatima, you're comfortable and you're natural. And you could talk about anything, or reasonably so, right?
Also, you're the one on screen. I see a big picture of you. I might exist in the corner, but I only see you.
Right. And if you were to, rewind this and actually play it back, you might look for you to see all the things that you're not quite getting right. Right? The rest of the world oftentimes aren't seeing those things because the rest of the world is usually a little bit more interested in your energy, in how you're connecting with them, those sorts of things. And so if you are watching back and you're going to do a second and a third and a fourth draft, try that one out. See if just noting the stuff that went well, because then you're training your brain to do that stuff that went well. Don't worry about the rest. That's just something that happened.
Okay.
Nice. All right.
Thank you.
Last thing here, Fatima, I got a shout out for you from Patricia. She's saying, so proud of you, Fatima. You were choosing, as you were choosing to go through this, lots of people will benefit.
Oh, thank you, Patricia.
Fatima, thank you very much for showing up in this world.
Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Arthur. As always, I am more scared than I was starting this call. So chat to you soon.
Okay. We'll see you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
Wonderful. All right. And let's wrap this one up. Here we go.
Kill the good.
That's right. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great weekend. On Monday, we have Connie from I Live for Dessert, a small business retail shop, dessert shop in California. We'll be chatting about how they are pivoting from a single small retail shop and seeing what challenges we can support them with. They are trying to expand their ability to market and ship across the universe, across the United States. So I'm really excited to chat with Connie. I'm really excited for everybody to join us and see what we can learn from yet another guru. It's going to be a Kill the Guru double header. Okay. Thank you so much, Fatima.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank
I'm
you.
looking forward to your video at 5.
All right. I gotta go because I gotta set all of this up.
Yep.
I might just wear the same thing
Yep.
because it's a draft. And also I feel really comfortable in how much color I'm wearing.